Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmosphere of our world around us, and today the comment will concern some ongoing events, massive information flow, I would say even misinformation flow. The situation I would like to refer to today is the common notion in media among people that Germany, of course, they create such image that they are first victim of brutal Anglo-Saxon, mainly American imperialism, and due to the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, they are losing because cheap resources like oil and gas, so carbohydrates are not useful ones, are not going to Germany in the amounts their industry would need, so they are only losing. Government is, of course, because Germans love regulations, so government is imposing more and more stupid regulations on people, on their everyday life habits, like using heaters. Actually, I was living in Germany for many years some time ago, and they are barely using heaters, so I don't know what government wants to limit. If Germans, they know how to save money, but they don't know how to count them properly. That's why nothing comes out of the savings, because they save on heating their own flats, but later they need to pay a lot of money for getting rid of the fungi that loves to live in relatively chilly and humid apartments, and many more things like everyday restaurant because they are too lazy to cook themselves. But okay, coming back to my situation, that's ongoing nowadays. And the main question is: are Germans only losing on current situation, geopolitical situation in Europe, as mainstream media try to tell us? I don't think that they are only losing. For a short period of time, their elite sensed the opportunity to tighten the constraints that the European Union imposes on different nations. And this tightening of these constraints is to serve the idea of the federal Europe. Actually, Federal Europe, the concept of Federal Europe is nothing else than the Union of the Socialist Republic of European Union, that Germans would like to construct federal state with, of course, Germany as a main state ruling all of them. Because euro they have already in Frankfurt, capital is in Berlin, and economically majority of the EU countries are completely dependent on German imports and exports. So now politically, as it's written in the coalition agreement between currently ruling German parties, officially under not so wise Chancellor Mr. Olaf Scholz, in their coalition agreement it's written that the main goal of this government is to tighten the bonds between the European countries to build a European federation. So, Union of the Socialist Republic of Europe, briefly. So Germany really, their elite, economical and political, because no longer cultural, because neo-Marxism is something anti-cultural. So these are only political and economical elite of current Germany, are only pushing to make everything more connected, everything more much more closer to the idea of single European state. Of course, here we see German pathological thinking and unstoppable willingness of conquering the Europe and later conquering entire world, die ganze Welt, as they always say in their own language. Previously, they were trying to do in a military manner. First World War, I would say the one who is really guilty for the First World War can be debatable, because the guilt doesn't belong only to Germany. So this can be debatable on the basis of historical facts, but for the Second World War, the guilt is only on them because they started it willingly, and for quite long period of time they were quite successful. And now for the catastrophe, if we don't stop them, that it's coming due to this tightening the bonds between European nations. Actually, we see Hungary, a little bit Poland, Italy, there is already a resistance, and most likely soon official resistance against German rule will come out from Spain. So another disaster, another, let's say, Stalingrad that it's coming for Germany, if it happens, will happen because of their own fault and their own blindness and willingness to have Europe under their shoe. This imperialism I do not understand. Now they are not doing it in a military way because of failures of the past. Actually, Second World War, again, as a historian I have to say, it was not military failure, it was more political capitulation because of the strikes and rebellions of some workers in many factories and mariners in Kiel. Kaiser abdicated, that's why German army was officially without the leadership, so the truce was signed, but during First World War, Germany was not actually defeated in a military way. They had still 9 millions of men mobilized, and the army was fighting well. Second World War is a different story, but now we see they really try to dominate Europe economically and with anti-cultural neo-Marxism to unify everything in the leftist, anti-human, devastating manner, and they think that they would construct the European empire. How do they want to do it without people? I don't know, but this is one of the reasons why did they resign from the military way of conquering Europe and the rest of the world, because actually their own population is already almost devastated, and the remaining young ones are not useful for anything. This is actually the result of breeding young people in the conditions of neo-Marxism. And such poison they are serving with their own ways, with their own money, with their own media, and with their own approach to life to the other European nations, trying to destroy also them, and by this destruction trying to have them under their own rule of destruction. Of course, in my opinion, it will not work, but everything will collapse, and again Europe will be in problematic situation, and unfortunately for Germans itself it will finish even worse. I will not regret them, but unfortunately many of other European nations are and will be even more damaged, and a lot of European heritage will be lost if we do not stop it. How to stop it? I'm always telling this to you on different videos, what we can do and we should do to preserve our heritage and leave the German madness only for Germans. Madness nur für Deutsche, so only for Germans, others shouldn't share their madness. And then we will survive and live in a better world. All the best, have a nice day, bye.